Welcome back. Thanks for joining me, or if you're new here, welcome. I'm pretty new to making videos for BookTube, but I did used to have another channel a long time ago, so I am not entirely new to YouTube. But what I would like to talk about today is I've really been thinking about my intentions with reading for 2025. And I think in 2024, I was much more intentional with my reading than I've been in a very long time. And it led to an absolutely astounding reading year. And I met some of my favorite characters, read some of my favorite books, and I have posted my top 10 of 2024. So I hope that you will go check out that video as well. But this year I decided to start two projects for 2025 that I hope will really increase the intentionality of my reading. The first project that I've started is I found this book at a thrift store and discovered it is actually relatively new. I think it was published in 2021, and that is Around the World in 80 Books. And I'm not even going to try to say his last name. But what I thought was really interesting about this book is that it starts off in London, and it gives you, a handful of select books to read from a bunch of different regions, and you literally travel around the world, ending back up in New York. Yeah, in New York. So we start in London, we move to Paris, Krakow, Venice and Florence, Cairo, then Istanbul, the Congo and Nigeria, Israel, Palestine, Tehran and Shiraz, Calcutta, Shanghai and Beijing, Tokyo and Kyoto, Brazil, Colombia, Mexico and Guatemala, the Antilles and beyond, Bar Harbor, and then New York. When I was looking at this in the thrift store before I picked this up, I thought, well, that would be a really great way to intentionally spread my reading throughout the world and learn about different cultures, learn about different peoples. And that's something that I've really tried to do in my reading for my whole entire life. But I think this provides sort of a guide in order to do that. I have already started with the first section, which is London, and I only have one more book to read in London, and it's actually one that I have never heard of. So I will be posting, about each area as I finish those. So hopefully you will want to follow along and join on that journey. And I'm really, really excited to read a lot of the books in here, because while some of them I've heard of and a few of them I have already read, most of them I've never even heard of before, and I'm super excited to dive into this. The second project that I am starting for 2025 is somewhat of a continuation of a project I started in 2024. One of my goals for 2024 was to read more poetry, and within that I started to reread all of Shakespeare's sonnets, as well as many other poets, both past and present. And so I decided to just add to that in 2025 and pull out the old college textbook, The Complete Works of Shakespeare. And so not only am I going to continue reading through all of the sonnets, but I'm going to reread all of his plays. I have read them all, or at least seen all of them performed if I haven't read them, but mostly I have read them. So, along the way, I'll give you some fun facts about the time period, the Globe Theater, how things were performed at the time, and, some information about the plays. I have already started this project, and so far I have reread Hamlet, I have reread King Lear, and I have reread Macbeth. So obviously I started with the tragedies. Those are the ones that I'm a little bit more familiar with, because I think it was a little bit more recent that I have seen or interacted with those plays. And so then I will move on to, I'll probably do the tragedies, and then the comedies, and then the histories, and then probably I'll do the romances last. Maybe that may be the order that I go in. But this book does contain the entire work of Shakespeare. It is very thick, it is very heavy. You could work out with this thing. But I'm also kind of looking forward to, as I'm doing this, seeing some of my notes that I put in here when I was a college student and seeing how my thoughts and feelings have changed. So in addition to that, there are several series that I want to get to in 2025. I definitely want to read the Poppy Wars trilogy, the Jade War trilogy. I want to start working on the Cosmere and the Shadow of the Gods. I also have, I forgot the Sun Eater series. I also want to read that. So within all of the sort of more serious scholarly things that I'm doing, I also have a bunch of really fun reading planned for the year. So I hope that you will choose to like and subscribe. I will also be reading quite a few other classics this year. I love reading classics. I know for sure I've already started Wuthering Heights. Moby Dick is on my list for next year, as well as some more Cormac McCarthy. Yeah, I have some very lofty reading goals for 2025, so hopefully you'll want to join along and check out some of these reviews and things that I am studying and learning as I go along. So, thank you.